Good evening, good evening, beautiful people, and happy Thursday. We have made it almost through the week, y'all. We got one more day until Friday. And so I like to call today Friday Junior. So happy Friday Junior to everybody. Thank you for coming into Royaires World this evening. I am so glad that you took the time out of your schedule to join me tonight for Love and Marriage Huntsville recap. Now, as I stated on Tuesday, y'all know I don't recap these shows. I am just doing this for Auntie Diva because Auntie is on a well-deserved vacation and I want to keep us entertained. Not just y'all, but me too. So I want y'all to know that y'all entertain me just as much as I entertain y'all. So this is all for you. So come on in the building as you feel. Please hit that like button. If you're not a subscriber to Royaires World, check my videos out. And if you like what you see, subscribe to my channel. And once you subscribe, hit that notification bell on all. That way you see each and every time I post a video with you in mind. Well, let's greet the people as they are coming into the building because we got 12 people in here already. I love it. Thank y'all. So good evening, Black Panthers. Although I don't watch this particular show, I'm always going to support your channel. Thank you so much, Black Panthers. I truly love you and I love the support that you bring to my channel. Thank you so much. Good evening, Shan. Hi, Lola K. Black Panther said good evening. Excuse me. Good evening, beautiful. Talking to Shan. Hey, Bia. Hey, Royaire. Chat came into the chat on two devices. Hit that like button on both. I know that's right. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. I love the support. Hit the like button. Nubian, happy Friday Eve. Thank you so much for joining me this evening. Hey, Auntie Robin. I'm so glad you're here in the building with me. Leo Aries, hey, what's up? Look, y'all coming to the building. Yes, I love the support. I love y'all so much. And I thank you so much for joining me tonight. Listen, today has been a pretty good day. I got up super early this morning, had a little situation that I had to work out. I did my walk today, Royaires Walk, Talk, and Laugh. So make sure y'all go check that out. I did a Royaires Corner today. I haven't done a Royaires Corner in a minute. So I definitely did that today as well. So today has been a nice, productive day, okay? So the people are here, and let's just go ahead and get started with the show, okay? So let me pull up my notes. And as I'm pulling up my notes, I'm going to bring the people in the building. Good evening, Shan.
Hey, Royer. Hey, everyone in the chat. I'm so happy to see y'all. Let's get into some things. Hit the like
Let's
button,
get
subscribe. Woo.
into it. Yes, thank you so much, Shan. Uh, Dustin, hello and welcome.
Hello, I don't know if you remember me from Diva or not, but I'm on Diva's channel a lot.
Yes, I know. Now, Dustin, you know I know who you are.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Yes, thank you so much for joining me over here on my channel tonight. I truly appreciate it. As y'all know, listen, we are just doing this until Auntie Diva comes back next week. And once she gets back, we're going to go back over to her channel and be recapping these shows over there, okay? So this is just a temporary situation. I wanted us to have fun tonight and have something to get into, okay? So as the
Yeah,
people are in the building, we're just going to go ahead and get started, okay? So
I
this
miss
week's
I miss
marriage.
I miss
I'm sorry.
Diva a lot. I miss Diva a lot this week.
I
It's
miss
been
her
a really
too.
much.
I talked to her today and she is missing y'all. Diva has been posting videos, so y'all make sure y'all go over there and check out her shorts and check out the videos that she has posted while on vacation so that we are still supporting her and that we can still get our diva time as we love to have our gray hair diva time, okay? So let's get into this recap. Like I said, make sure you hitting that like button, share, and let the people know that we are live for Love and Marriage Huntsville recap season 6, episode 8. Okay, so this episode was very messy, and when I say very messy, I'm speaking specifically on Tiffany's behalf. Tiffany, you did a lot. You did a lot this episode. You did a lot on the ending of last episode when we were at Martell's magazine cover release party, and now you're doing a lot this week. It's just a lot, Tiffany. You're being real messy, okay? So I'm gonna go over the first two scenes, and then I'll go around and get everyone's opinion. As I said, I have dropped the link in the comment section, so if there's anyone else who wants to come in and talk with us, feel free to come on in, and I will definitely let you in, okay? So the opening of the show, we open up with Melody and Kimmy meeting up to have a conversation. Now, let me say this about Melody. One thing I will say about Melody, she is a businesswoman. And I love how Melody opened the show, mentoring the future property preservations. Now, Melody talked to us and she told us in her confessionals after her divorce, she wanted to figure out what was next for Melody, what was going to keep Melody afloat and her family and children afloat. And so it was the property preservation. I love how passionate she was about, hey, Manuel, welcome to the building.
Hey,
Hey,
Manuel.
cousin. Sorry. I'm
No,
excited.
you good.
Oh,
You good.
All my cousins are here.
Hi, Shan. How you doing?
Hey, Dustin. How you
So,
doing? Hey.
Good.
I love how passionate she was about, the property preservation and really mentoring these young two men on the do's and don'ts of property buying, property preservation, and all of those different entrepreneurial skills. And so Kimmy comes into the scene, and Kimmy, as I said, she loved the way that Mel was just into her groove, doing her thing. You can really tell that Mel is passionate about the property preservation and mentoring these young entrepreneurs who are trying to get into this. So Mel, sends on her mentees and she introduces the gentleman who has sold, I think it was over 400 plus properties. And so, she's going to get Kimmy and him connected so that he can help Kimmy kind of get into the business that, she wants to get into. So Mel and Kimmy, have their conversation. And one thing that I will say that I love about Mel this season, I love her support and Kimmy and uplifting Kimmy. We all know that Kimmy has been through a rough time this season. Kimmy has, gone through cancer treatments. And so I love the fact that Mel has truly supported Kimmy through this time by uplifting her, being there to support her in whatever way she can. And so, Kimmy was expressing to Mel, she's very picky and choosy on what event she goes to because Kimmy's stress level has to be down here. You can't even see my hand. So that's how low it has to be. It's got to be down here. Okay. And, she cannot control what's going on at home with Maurice and Monster and things like that. So she's very picky and choosy on what event she goes to, who she goes to with, how she deals with them and things like that. And I completely understand because with my situation, I'm doing everything I can do to stay out of any stressful situation because stress sends you right back to the hospital that I just got out of. It sends Kimmy right back to the cancer that she is pressing forward to get out of. So I totally understand what Kimmy was saying, pushing forward and going through that. I love the fact that she was opening up with Mel about her stresses, at home and how Kimmy, feels that Maurice is not being very supportive of Monster doing chores around the house and really helping her out. And at this stage of Kimmy's life, she truly needs the support from not only Monster, but Maurice as well. Because though they have gotten the cancer and everything, she's still not completely out of the woods. She still has to go through radiation treatments and things like that. So I need Maurice to step up a little bit more, and I need him to get on Monster a lot more, so that they can truly help Kimmy around the house. Mel expresses how proud she is of Kimmy, and I just love the relationship journey that Mel and Kimmy have gone through and gotten to this place now. So I'm going to go around and get everyone's thoughts and opinions, and I'm going to start at the top. I'm sorry.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah. Go ahead.
I follow Carlos King on Twitter, and I seen Love and Marriage DC's coming back on the 24th of June.
Yes.
DC's going to come back on. So I just thought maybe guys were going to cover it. I don't know if you guys are going to cover it or not.
They got DC coming back and they got Detroit coming out. So it looks like we ain't on the stop of the Love and Marriages. So I'm going to come to you, Shan, because we're just going to go in order as we go across the screen. So Shan, what was your thoughts about that first scene?
Listen, I don't care for Melody, but she's a businesswoman. She's about her businesswoman. That's a Nicki Minaj quote, I love that she was, helping Kimmy get back to her business. And I definitely need to get in contact with that guy selling 400 million home or whatever the hell And I actually Googled what that was, like a property preservation specialty, because I've been looking for a little side hustle, something. So I'm interested in that. I love
Okay.
that scene.
Money,
You
boo.
know what really made me sad though? It made me sad that Kimmy said home is her most stress right now. Now I
Yes.
know Maurice and his bald head is not over there stressing the lady after she just finished her cancer treatment. Like you said, she's not out the woods yet. Like, what are you doing? I thought he was a supportive husband last season, but the more I watch, the more I'm looking at him sideways. But we'll get into that later. I didn't like that. That made me really sad. And I love that she's watching her environment. Kimmy definitely does not look like what she's been through. I love that Melody said that to her too, because I love that. I love how she's still radiating, she's still looking good, she's in good spirits. Because I feel like if you look good, you feel good. So I'm glad that she's still, trying to put her best foot forward despite of what she's going through. But yeah, I'm really mad at Maurice. But I'm gonna stop there.
I totally agree with you, Shan. Maurice has got to step it up. Bia says down here in the comment, yes, Tiffany has been messy. Makes me wonder if something or someone told her to fight for her spot. And it makes me wonder the same
The
thing because
viewers, we,
you know,
us.
Tiffany, she wasn't doing all of this last season. So I'm trying to figure out why she's doing the most now. But Dustin, I'm here to you now. What's your thoughts and opinions on this first scene?
I was gonna say, when you're recovering from something like cancer treatment, you're supposed to be relaxed. Your home is supposed to be where you're the most relaxed and not stressed out after you're recovering from a cancer treatment. And I don't like how he's stressing her out so much after the cancer treatment. She's supposed to be resting and relaxing and healing after all that. Now stop stressing her out. Come on now. Wake up, people. Wake up.
I totally agree, Dustin. They got to wake up and smell the coffee. Kimmy is not who she used to be. Kimmy is in a place of healing and recovery. And we need everybody, not just Maurice and not just Monster. We need everybody on the team to step up and play their extra part for this season of Kimmy's life. So I totally agree with you, Dustin.
I agree with that 110% earlier. No, you got to start waking up, people. Wake up.
Thank you so much, Dustin. I appreciate that.
Because usually, because when if you already have cancer once, you could come back and you come back in the vengeance now. If you don't.
Yeah, that's what happened to my grandma. Cancer came back with a vengeance. So I'm glad she's being careful with her surroundings. I would just kick him out the house, to be honest. Like, you need to stay at a hotel. I'm protecting my peace, but that's not good advice. Sorry.
I'm just saying, they could come back with a vengeance, and I know it firsthand because I had somebody in my family that had it.
Yes, wow. I totally agree with what you're saying, Dustin. Auntie Robin says Tiffany wasn't as messy as Martell teaming up with Marceau to attack her. Now that's facts. Now that's facts. Emmanuel, you were in the building. What are your thoughts and opinions on this first scene, please?
Well, first of all, I love this scene because I really like it when they show scenes where like the co-stars are actually in their element, doing their thing, doing their business. I've always been Team Melody. I'm always going to be Team Melody because she's just such a star, not just her presence and everything else, but the way she helps people, the way she wants to bless them. I think that's why God blesses her so much, because she's actually trying to help people. I think a lot of other business people should take note, i.e. Candy and Kenya, really help other people and let's not try to tear each other down, because the sun comes out for everyone. You know what I mean? As far as Kimmy, I not that I had forgotten, but she just looks so good. Like on a surface level, you kind of forget how much she must be going through at home. So for her to say that, it was a little bit like, oh wow, like it kind of made me feel really bad, because when you're going through something like that, you definitely need a strong support system. So I'm gonna need Mars, her husband, to get the hell up and be the man of the house and really take care of her, because she needs it.
That part, Emmanuel. I agree with that 110.
Yeah.
Now, come on. That
part,
part. Wake
Emmanuel.
up. Now, wake up, people. Wake up. Now,
Mm-hmm.
I
get,
totally agree with you 100%,
get.
Emmanuel. Just like Dustin said, that part, that part, that part. Sorry, everyone.
Okay. Now they're gonna have to start waking up, man, and get out. That happened to me
Sorry,
today,
everybody.
man.
So Black Panther says monster. Don't tell me that's that child's nickname, and we're gonna get to that in just a minute because we're gonna talk about that when we get to that scene. Okay. Let me finish going through the comments just in case. Let's see. Auntie Robin says, I've been told y'all Maurice ain't nothing, and you have. I see it completely now. My argument says, remember when I said I saw clouds on the horizon for Kimmy and Maurice, and now home is her biggest stress? Well, you said it, and it has happened. Maurice and his compassion has worn off. Yes, it has. Maurice is not the individual that we met this beginning season when Kimmy first announced her cancer scare. Hey, Royaires in chat. Hey, Michelle. So glad you decided to join me this evening. Auntie Robin says Maurice will never step it up. If he is this detached and unhelpful as he has been during Kimmy's illness, there is no incentive for him to ever step up. Well, there you go. Leo Aries, hey, honey bun. She says, I'm done with Maurice, Marceau, and Martell. All these men are trash. And yes, they are. Hey, Tay, welcome to the building. Thank you for joining me tonight. Hey, Flip, I'm so glad you decided to join me this evening. Thank you for coming in. Oh no Candy slander tonight. Y'all do not be playing with Candy. And look, y'all see that they trying to get rid of Candy on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. They are pushing to get her off the show. But that's another topic for another day. Let's see. K and J. Yes, Candy should have petitioned the Supreme Court to expunge. Now see, we tripping. We tripping tonight. We tripping, obviously. So let's move on into the next scene. Is there any other things that anybody else has to say?
No, you move on.
Last thing. I feel like Maurice was...
Sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're good, sweetheart. Royaires facial expression in the pod.
No, go ahead. I'm waiting on you to respond.
No. What was I gonna say? I feel like Maurice was pretending last season to like be the doting husband, and now his true self is coming back, and it's really unfortunate.
Can I say I agree with you 110%. Now, he was acting totally different last season, but this season has shown me a different side of him that I don't like very well.
Well, there you go. Okay. So let's move on to the next scene. So coffee with Tiffany and Stormy. So Tiffany was a little upset because Stormy stirred the pot over at Martell's event last episode, with the magazine release. Tiffany and Kiki have been having some bumping of the heads, and then they haven't been able to get on the same page. And so Tiffany felt like that Stormy needed to explain herself and why she brought up all of this more drama at Martell's event. So, Stormy shows up and, they, hug each other and have their foo-foo moment. And so Tiffany expresses to Stormy that she was a little confused on why, she felt the need to bring up the issues between Kiki and Tiffany. And so Stormy feels that there are still issues on the table that Kiki and Tiffany need to deal with. And the only way to deal with them is to put them out there, because that's the way Stormy deals with things. Now, I felt like that was very contradictory, because last week's episode at the Tea, you still have problems with Mel. And not one time did you open up your mouth and express, in my opinion, what your issue was with Mel. You allowed your mama to act a complete fool and do all that she did. So I just thought it was very funny that you could throw out everybody else's issues and problems on the table, but when it comes to your own, you don't have anything to say.
Yeah.
So, Tiffany expressed, that she just felt like that her and Kiki really don't have anything in common, and that, their issues are their issues, and she's okay with that. And so Stormy feels that they just need to have a one-on-one time, because Kiki and Stormy had one-on-one time, and Stormy was able to find some positive things about Kiki that she felt that Tiffany may be able to latch on to. So Tiffany says she would take Stormy up on her offer and maybe have a one-on-one. So then Tiffany goes into the event of Martell's and how things went, and, expressed that she talked to Sheree, and she asked Sheree several questions regarding Sheree and Martell's relationship. Now, in my thoughts and opinions, I thought it was very inappropriate, all of the questions that she asked. First of all, Sheree is not officially in this group. So the same questions that you would ask the other ladies, you don't need to be asking Sheree. She was a guest at Martell's event magazine release. So it was just very inappropriate, the questions. I felt, and even Stormy felt that Tiffany was being way too nosy. And Stormy said it herself. I'm not that nosy. Like, I wouldn't even be asking all the stuff that you asked. And so Tiffany posed the question to Stormy: if you and your husband separated and he began to date someone, wouldn't you want to know the individual that he's dating? And Stormy gave the answer. I mean, if it's not really that serious, then I don't care. But if it's serious, I think that we would get to a point where we do need to, talk and introduce ourselves to one another. But right now was just not the time or the place to do that. And I totally agree. Tiffany also, said that Sheree shared with her that Melody and her eldest son came to Sheree's book signing a few years ago and proclaimed that Sheree said that Melody was a fan of Sheree's. And so Stormy asked her, well, is that exactly what Sheree said? And so the first time she said yes, but then she said, well, who's going to go stand in somebody's line for a book signing that they're not a fan of? Doesn't that mean you're a fan? And I kind of seen what Tiffany said, but then again, you being messy, way too messy.
Yeah,
and so Stormy said, well, how does Mel feel about, Sheree and Martell dating? And so Tiffany said, well, I haven't talked to them about it. So then she said, well, why did you feel comfortable asking Sheree about those things? And she said, because I wanted to know. So I just felt like it was very inappropriate for her to be asking the questions that she asked. It was completely out of line. Tiffany claims, that Melody is a fan of Sheree's, but we don't know that to be factually true. She may have liked the book, wanted to get her book signed, and wanted to, do that or whatever. So, Tiffany invites Melody and to her baby shower, and she expresses to Tiffany that she feels like that there are some things that they need to talk about as well. And so she invited Stormy to her baby shower and is hoping that they can have a come to Jesus meeting at the baby shower. So I will start at the bottom this time and we'll go around. I'll start with you, Dustin. What are your thoughts and opinions with the coffee scene with Tiffany and Stormy?
She should have had. Stormy went way too far, I think. She went way too far. She should have stayed in her lane. Whatever the Tiffany wanted to do, Tiffany should had a right to do it, And she should have stayed in her lane. I didn't like that. I didn't like the way that Tiffany and Stormy was going after each other. It felt like to me over a book signing. Come on now, people. If she want to get her books. She don't have to be a fan to have a signed book now. People around here, they get books and they have them signed. That don't mean they're a fan. Come on now. That's just crazy to me.
I agree with you so much, Dustin. Anything else you want to say, sir, before I move on to Emmanuel?
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No need to apologize. I just want to make sure you got all your thoughts and opinions out before we move on.
Yeah,
Emmanuel, thank you. Before I come to you, Emmanuel, let me read Michelle GM's comment. Tiffany is always sitting there like she be so shocked at what people saying. She know what the heck she's doing. And I totally agree. Exactly, Royaires. So the people are agreeing. The people agree with you, Michelle. that was contradicting. It was contradicting. Nubian said Tiffany and Marlo need their own show. Not Tiffany and Marlo. Wow, they
That
way that way they can just go after each
On
other.
the Zeus network.
they
Not
don't
on the
need
Zeus
they,
network. Thank
they don't
you.
need their own
Ticket number
show. No,
29.
thank you.
Hello, Sheila.
No,
Thank you so much for coming in. Yes, it was via very inappropriate.
I
Sydney
don't want.
C.
I don't
Hi,
think they.
baby. Thank you for joining me tonight. Keep up the amazing work. I love you too, boo. Hey, Sheila Mack. Virgo Flip, no shade. If the shoe was on the other foot, Sheree was messy just like her. Well, there you go. Sheree is messy, so we can't be too mad, but I just feel like the questions
I just
that
think you're.
Tiffany
I
was
just think you're.
asking was just way too personal. They were way too much, and I would never do that. Bia says you would think Tiffany wouldn't want to wrap herself up in all of this drama being pregnant. And I totally agree with you as well. So I'm
Hmm.
sorry, Dustin. Did you have something else you wanted to say? I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. I'm just saying. I just think she went way too far with that whole book signing thing. Come on now. There's a lot of people around here who get a lot of book signings every day. Come on now. She just went way too far. I didn't like it.
It was definitely a stretch. It was definitely a stretch. Emmanuel, what are your thoughts and opinions on this next scene with the coffee time with Tiffany and Stormy?
Let me tell you like this. Neither Stormy or Tiffany are doing it for me this season. They're both acting
Mm.
very messy. Stormy should be worrying about her delayed orders that she doesn't ship on time instead of trying to solve other people's issues. And Tiffany is just outright inappropriate. Like, I don't care who you are, I don't care what show you've been on. I'm never gonna meet someone for the first time and say if they dropping it like it's hot in the bedroom. Like, come on, that is so vulgar.
Mm.
Um, and
The,
another thing I noticed about Tiffany is that when she was in that coffee shop with Stormy, she had this look on her face, this kind of like wicked Machiavelli. I don't know how to describe it, but it was just giving me very weird vibes. So I don't know. These two really need to get their things together because I actually like them. I didn't like. I did think they're good people, but they just been acting kind of crazy this season.
I totally agree. They need to get their stuff together. They're doing the
Ugh.
do you
most,
think?
and
Do you think if they
instead of
don't?
focusing on everybody else's business, Tiffany need to focus on this baby and her marriage with Lou, and Stormy needs to focus on her business and her marriage too. Because in my opinion, from the outside looking in, both of their marriages are unstable and on unstable ground. So
Ooh.
Do you think? Do you think that if they don't get their stuff together this season, that this might be the final season for 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 this couple, or do you think they're gonna let them come back next season?
I think it's the final season for this show. The people are tired of the
That
same
part.
drama,
That
That
part.
part.
the same
Uh-huh.
situation, the same mess. We've been talking about the same stuff for 6 years. We're over it. We're ready for something new. So I
Mhm.
personally, Dustin, I think that we're gonna let go of Love and Marriage Huntsville, and we're gonna see what DC and Detroit does. So that's my thought.
When
But
does when
that's
does when does when does Detroit start? Uh,
I don't know exactly when they come out, but I have been seeing the trailer. I've been seeing the trailer play along this whole season or this most recent part of the season they've been playing it. So when I find out, I will definitely tell Diva so that I'm sure Diva will be reviewing it. So we'll see. We'll see.
June 24.
June 24th.
24th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, DC comes
All
out
right.
26th, so uh, now so they must come out in the same month.
Hmm.
Well, we'll see what's
24th and the
gonna happen.
26th.
We are gonna see. We will definitely see. Shan, your
Yeah,
thoughts and opinion on the coffee scene?
I like Stormy. I did, but I'm realizing something. Neither Stormy or Tiffany have any business of their own. No business of their own going on. So now they want to stir the pot. If I was Stormy and I had a hair business or whatever, you would see me doing my hair every scene. You would see my products all in your face. I don't care about over promotion. Like, I would really focus on getting my business out there. I know she's a millionaire or whatever the heck, but still,
she
I feel
needs
like she should show us like her business side. You know what I
she
mean?
needs to she needs to worry about getting her products in stores and getting her product.
Yeah,
Her
apparently she's
pro.
in Target, and I live
She
in
needs to.
Target, but I never seen her products. But
She needs to get her products in store and get her business off the ground, and don't have to be worried about these other people on
this,
this show. Come
yeah,
on now. Kind of
yeah,
Mm.
crazy.
yeah. This is my theory with Tiffany. You know how last season, all of us,
Yeah,
including me, called her super boring. She's
she is
super
super
boring.
boring.
But
She
now
is
I feel like she
boring.
went from 0 to 100. You know when people get that little thing at work when it's like, okay, you gotta come in on time. Now you start coming in like an hour before. I don't know, but I'm trying to think of a good analogy. It's just like you go from 0 to like 100. Like, girl, relax, and you're pregnant.
You
It's
go from
so
being the
sad.
poor
I don't know.
employee to the employee at the top of the list.
Right,
That's the
bringing the
exact
manager
analogy.
coffee every day and doing the most. Like, relax.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? I'm really disappointed. And for a pregnant lady, she's lucky she's pregnant.
This is,
Because the way she's been acting rampant, going around like the coronavirus, like, girl,
uh,
please
this
stop.
is.
I don't
I
know
mean,
what. And then how is her child gonna come out? I don't know. But when I get pregnant, I'm gonna be on my best behavior because I want my kid to come out like almost perfect. I
healthy,
don't know. I
healthy.
don't know.
She
But I
wants.
feel
She
like when
wants.
you're pregnant, you should act a certain way. You know. I
Yeah,
just cannot believe what I'm seeing. It's
I
like
can't either.
they pulled her in the office and they're like, you need
Mm-mm.
to act up
Yeah.
to keep your check. But the thing is, we don't like you. We don't like you when you were boring, and we don't like you even more now. So I just think you should exit stage left and do your little whatever she does. I
Yeah.
don't know what she does, but you know what's funny? I actually liked her on Diva's interview. But I don't know who this like demon coming out. And even like what Emmanuel said, like her facial expression is like she's intrigued. It's like mwahaha, look at the mess I created. Like, girl, stop.
Sometimes,
Yeah, like Maleficent or something.
Yeah.
sometimes I wonder.
Ooh, that's
Sometimes
a
I
great
wonder about.
analogy.
Maleficent.
That's a great analogy.
Hashtag Maleficent in the chat and hit the like button, you guys.
Sometimes I wonder about
Yes.
some of these scenes on TV. Sometimes I wonder
It's
if they if
forced. The
they
thing
I
is,
wonder if they write this write this
they're not.
scene if they
Yeah.
take this scene and they want this scene a certain way. Now
Yeah.
so this is how I feel about it. It might be wrong,
And I feel
but
like the show now is centered around Tiffany, but it's not in a good way. Like, this is for the world to see. Like, if I'm in a reality show, yes, I'm gonna be a little messy. I'm gonna, like, keep my job, whatever, bring a little something. But like, this
mhm.
is for your future child to see, and just like the way you're being demonic, it's like, and I hate to call her demonic, but that's what
I've
it's
been
giving. Stop
I've
it.
been watching it. I've been watching this show since season one, and this is probably the worst season that I have ever seen
And like
in my
Royaires
life.
said,
In my life,
the right, the whole show needs to go because I'm not getting nothing. Like,
nope.
I'm not excited to watch it. I only watch it because, like, like I'm
I
watching it
only
with my
watch it. I only
friends.
watch it because the diva covers it, and sometimes
Yeah,
Royaires
like
covers
it's
it. I
fun to
don't.
talk about. It's
I
more fun to talk about than to watch the show.
I love being on there with Diva. So when Diva asks me questions, of
Me
course I'm
too.
gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But I don't.
Yeah, you
I wouldn't
guys.
watch. Yeah, if Diva wouldn't cover it, I wouldn't watch it. To be honest with you, I
They
just
need
go
to cut
past it.
Diva and Royer a check because we only watching to talk about it with y'all, to be honest. Come on, own. Run that
I
Oprah
tell
Winfrey
Diva all
money.
the time
Okay?
that your show is way better than the actual show that's playing on the TV. But y'all, let me
Literally.
read these comments real quick, and then we'll move on to the next scene. Flip Virgo said Tiffany needed to make it hot. Plus, she was not helping. Plus, she was helping Sheree interview for when Bravo kicks her to the curb again. Wow, wow, wow. K and J, this is the same Tiffany we saw on the table with Destiny bringing mess about Destiny's husband and Monster. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. That's what I be telling the people, K and J. When somebody shows you who they are the first time, believe them. Michelle GN says, honestly, if it wasn't for Tiffany being messy, that show Saturday would have been a snooze fest. And there you go. Emmanuel says, yep. Facts, Michelle. Sheila Max says Shan, when she did a show about her business, it was not good. Not a good look, excuse me. Let's see. Any other comments? Any other? Let's see. They are no longer telling the real story other than Kimmy. I totally agree with that. That's so true. Yes, run that check. Run me and Diva that check because we doing
I don't
this.
know if you guys
Doing this.
I don't know if you guys know this or not, but the old network got bought out by Discovery, so Discovery needs to write you the check.
Yeah.
Discovery Plus needs to write you the check, and so does Diva. Diva put a
Okay,
lot of hours in.
correction. Discover, run Royaire and Diva that check.
Yeah, yeah. Give her $1,000. Give him
Okay,
$1,000 too.
look.
Come on now.
Virgo Flip says, I only watch it because I heart male messy butt. Okay, well, there you go. So let's move on to the next scene, everyone. And so in the next scene, we're with Tiffany and Lou. So Tiffany, as we all know, she's having a baby. She's having a boy. The baby's name is Ace. She took the time to specifically let us know that she did not pick out that name. The Big Lou picked out that name. I thought that was very shady. To me, in my opinion, I don't feel like that her and Big Lou are ever on the same page. It seems like Big Lou is on one page and
They're
then
not.
Tiffany is just in a whole nother book. Like they are just not even in the same book to me. But the baby is doing very well. The heartbeat was very strong. The baby looks very healthy according to what the doctor says. So we're going to leave that there. I'm super happy, that the baby is doing well. I'm super happy that the pregnancy is going well. And I wish nothing but the best for Tiffany and Lou and baby Ace as they have brought him into the world already. We already know that she's had the baby. He's happy, he's healthy, and things are going well with the baby. So shout out to Tiffany, shout out to Big Lou, and shout out to baby Ace. Any positive comments
But
that
I
anybody
will
would like
say,
to make upon that?
but I will say this: a lot easier if there was on the same page within
Uh-oh.
the.
Dustin, you breaking up really, really bad. Dustin, I can't hear you. So can you go out and come back in because you're really fuzzy. Can you come out and come back in for me?
Come out, come back in. You need me to.
Yeah, just drop and then come back in. I'll let you back up because you're real fuzzy. Okay. All righty. Anybody else have any positive thoughts to say, Emmanuel, Shan?
I'm happy. I'm happy the baby is doing well. I love babies. Like I'm happy for her and her pregnancy and her journey. I fast forward that part a little bit. To be honest with you, I'm going to hell. But I love a beautiful, healthy baby. Like I love that that's good for their family. But I still don't get how they're married. Like you said, two different pages. I just don't know. Opposites attract, but it's like they're way. I don't know.
Well, alleged. No, I was kidding. I will say that I will say, I like the scene. I thought it was a really cute scene, and I like it because for them, it's like kind of documenting a special moment. They could probably look back at it years from now and be like, "Oh, look, that's where we went to the doctor." So that's the good part of it. So
Yeah.
I did like it.
Yeah. And I'm excited to meet baby Ace.
Yes. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay.
On
So
Instagram, not on the show.
Period. Nubia says, when you have to cause chaos to make reality show exciting, then it's time to cancel the show. I totally agree. They gotta go. All righty. So let's move on to the next scene, and we're going to be talking about Kimmy and Maurice meeting about Monster. So first of all, before I even get into that whole scene, I do not like the fact that this child's nickname is Monster. I truly believe that what you name your children is a big effect on how they will turn out. So I don't like the fact that they call him Monster, which is maybe why he is having some issues in school and at home, which is why Maurice had to put him in the boot camp. So let's think about changing the name. Dustin, if you didn't see, I did post the link, so you can just hit it right there and come on back in the building. I don't like the fact, there we go. I don't like the fact that Maurice, has given him the nickname Monster. We need to come up with something different, more positive, so that he can be doing, better in life. Because it ain't what the people we just gotta change the name. I just don't like it. I don't like it at all. Okay. So going into the scene, Kimmy and Maurice are talking, about how Martell's magazine release event went. And so they were shocked and surprised about how quiet Sheree was. And, it is very funny, because you think that a person is one way on TV. And then when you meet them in person, they're a completely different person. That's just like, people see me on the YouTube and they, think I'm just this joyous, happy, exciting person all the time. And the majority of the time I am, but I'm very shy. When I'm in new circles, I'm very quiet and things of that nature. So, it was very nice to see that they had a different perspective of Sheree than what they normally see on TV. Also, after that, Monster walks in. I hate to call this boy Monster, but I don't know his real name. So Monster comes in, and
We can
so
call him chores, so he could do
he
some
greets
chores.
Kimmy. He greets Kimmy, and he greets his dad, and so they're sitting at the island, and so hey, in my opinion, welcome in the building, baby.
Hi,
How
in
you
my
feeling?
opinion. Hi.
Hey, how y'all doing tonight?
We good.
We're
We
good. How
good.
are
You
you?
feeling all right, baby?
Hey,
Eh, I'm hanging
You
in there.
pushing through. You pushing through. That's all I need, baby. You pushing through. And we sending prayers up for you. So thank you for taking the time out of your evening to join me tonight. I truly appreciate it, honey bun. So,
Oh, and Monster name is Maurice Jr.
Maurice Jr., thank you. So that's what we're going to call him, Maurice Jr., because I'm not here for the monster. So Maurice Jr. walks into the scene, and he greets Kimmy with a nice hug. He greets his dad. And so, Maurice is sharing with us that Maurice Sr. is sharing with us that, Maurice Jr. is in boot camp right now because he was having some issues in school and having some issues at home. And so he's getting up at a particular time. They're working out. They're getting to school on time, just doing certain things. And so there is a list of goals that Maurice has set for Maurice Jr. to reach. So I know one of them was like a 3.0 GPA or above, make sure that he's getting up on time, da 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 da. Well, needless to say, there was nowhere on the list about chores and house duties. And in my thoughts, if we're going to be making goals, as a teenager, chores and house duty definitely need to be within the top 10, in my opinion, because you ain't paying no bills, you live in here for free, you don't have a job, so the least you can do is vacuum, put some dishes away, keep your room clean, keep the common areas clean the bathroom. Like, Kimmy has cancer, Maurice. What don't you get about that? She cannot be doing her everyday, day-to-day stuff like she used to do. We have to be sensitive and understanding that Kimmy is in a different place mentally, physically, and emotionally right now, and she needs that physical help around the house. So it really just irritated me and got under my skin that even at the point where Kimmy brought it up, it was like, well, if it's something that you want him to do, we can definitely add it to the list. What do you mean? These should have been things that you were already on the list. Like, it blew my mind just as much as it blew Kimmy's mind. And I was just like, wow, wow, wow. Can't believe this. So, they said that they would be adding, some chores to the list. And so we ended that scene with Kimmy saying, I want to see what the rest of the list look like. And I want to see it too. So Kimmy, if you get that list, go on and take a screenshot of it, post it on the Instagram, because I want to see what was on this original list before we added the chores. So as I stated, we're going to go around. If everyone can wait till their turn to speak, I would greatly appreciate it. Dustin, I'm going to start off with you and we'll work our way on up. So Dustin, what were your thoughts and opinions on this scene with Maurice?
You know what that
Maurice
tells me?
Jr. and
You know what that tells me, Royaires? If he don't want to help his own let's see. So I gotta put the phone down a second.
Okay.
Call from 88.
Sorry about that.
You good? Go ahead.
I that shows me that he doesn't care about her to a certain degree. That if that was somebody that I knew, I would do everything for her if I was able to. Now come on, start waking up people. That's very frustrating to me. She's got cancer. Let her rest and let her heal, please. Thank you.
Period, point blank. Okay. Leo Aries, hashtag change the name. Y'all put hashtag change the name in the chat because, as Auntie Robin says, Monster is living up to his nickname, apparently. And that is horrible. We don't like that at all. In my opinion, sweetheart, what are your thoughts and opinions on this scene?
Um, whew. Come back to me.
Okay, I got you, boo. Emmanuel, your thoughts and opinions?
My. Well, first of all, I totally agree. Change the kid's nickname because there is power in your words.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said earlier, I think Maurice needs to step the hell up and be the man of the house, be the man of the household. Because how are you going to go? I remember the last reunion, he was trying to be all the peacemaker and have all these inspirational quotes. Remember, Mel called him Martin Luther King? How are you going to be doing
Mm-hmm.
all that? You can't even step up in your own house. You know what I mean? As far as with the kid, I feel like I'm not gonna say he's a bad dad. I don't think he's a bad dad. I just think maybe he wants to like be his kid's best friend more than he wants to actually be a parent. So I don't know. I just feel like he needs to change a little bit his parenting skills with his kid, and the fact that the household chores were not on the list, that's a really big problem. And I feel like Kimmy is being asked to do way too much because he even
Mm-hmm.
tried to gaslight her when she said, I don't know if I should be that involved because he is my stepkid. And then Maurice was like, oh, so you were saying he's not your kid? So I don't know. I feel like she's being treated unfairly, to be honest.
I totally agree, Emmanuel. And I don't think more so that he's trying to be a friend to Maurice Jr. I think that he wants Maurice Jr. to go in a certain direction, and Maurice Jr. does not want to go in that direction. And that is a lot of the issues that parents have to understand. You can't force your children to do something that they don't want to do. Career wise, educationally wise, whatever it may be. Your job is to direct them on the path that is best for them. And I think the sooner the parents realize that, the better off the children will become. That's just my thoughts and opinions. So,
Mm-hmm.
Shan, your thoughts and opinions on this scene?
So my theory on Maurice, right? I feel like he's one of those men who feel like men, boys, whatever, should not do house chores. I may be wrong, but some men, they think like, okay, men pay bills and girls wash the dishes. A man should never touch the dishes. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Those type of men.
Mm-hmm.
That's the vibe I'm getting, and that's why I think that chores are not at the top of his list. Because I feel, in my opinion, I think allegedly he feel like a man don't have to clean up the house. Cause like my stepfather was like that. Like, he was like, the woman take care of this and da 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 da. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's why he's not really stressing the chores part. And you're right. You can't force your kid to be something they're not. And this is why Kimmy is my favorite, because she always give her real life. And I love how she called him out in the confessional, how she was like, I feel like you're negating what I'm saying, pretty much. Like, you have all these things for him to do, and chores are important to me, yet you're not backing me up. And that's what she's been saying. And I love that she has the strength to call it out. And I can tell she doesn't let herself get walked over. And that's another reason she's my favorite, because she calls stuff out. She's very intelligent. So I love that.
She tells it like it is.
She tells it like it is, right? And honestly, I keep watching the show. Another reason is because of Kimmy. Like, I really like her. I respect, like, what she, her getting through this. And I'm rooting for her. But I feel like he just needs to get knocked upside the head. Just kidding. Just kidding. But I just don't know what's going on with him. But when you pretend, after a while, your true colors start to come out. Like, now he can't pretend anymore to be this doting husband like he was pretending to be, because that's not the real him. He's not a doting husband. Now she's probably, out of the woods a little bit. He's probably like, hey, I could go back to be my normal self. She'll run the house. But as a step parent, the actual parent has to
out of the woods.
back up the step parent, because a kid is only going to listen to a step parent so much. You know what I mean? They're going to be like, oh, well, my dad doesn't let me do it. And again, with the name, like, I'm sick of that name. Like, initially,
Change the name.
I wouldn't even call
Change.
my dog. I don't have a dog, but I wouldn't even call my dog Monster. Like, what are you doing? As he get older, he's going to introduce himself. Yeah, I'm Monster. Girls are going to run away if they're smart. You know what I mean?
I totally agree with you, Shan. Let me read a few comments and then I'm going to come down to you, Leo Aries. Doc from NC, they could have hired someone for assistance around the house. Boom. But you know, why should I have to hire someone when I have two capable people to do whatever that I cannot do? That's the point of marriage. Is for what I can't do in the time of need, you help me out to do it. And that's, I don't want to say that's what children are for, but children are there for that as well, is to help in the time of need when their parents cannot do it. Come on, like, what the heck? Michelle says, kids did chores at my house and we did chores at my parents' house. Period. Point blank. Okay. Auntie Robin says Maurice is not invested in raising his son. He is putting everything off on Kimmy. The only reason the son lives with them is because Maurice claimed that he wanted to be a model behavior for the kid. And that is facts. Kimmy is my favorite. Sheila Max says Kimmy is my favorite too. Michelle loves Kimmy as well. Doc from DC says they could shorten it on to Mo. Okay, I can do Mo. Sheila Mack, they probably saw their mother doing all the housework. They did. They have talked about how they grew up in a very structured house. Mom did all the housework and dad paid all the bills, and mom took care of the children. So Leo Aries, what's your thoughts and opinions on this scene?
I'm just gonna do a little comment, then I'm gonna drop back down. But you know what? Hey, Shan VIP.
Hey, fellow VIP. Hey, girl.
But,
I'm glad you're
all right, Dustin, I see you in the background. But okay, so this is it. I don't really, I rocks with Love and Marriage Huntsville. I really liked it in the beginning. But I'm going to say it again, the patriarchy going on in this show really get under my skin. And it's because personally, I was raised around men. I had two brothers. My father and my grandfather lived in the same house with us. So, you know, I understand the dynamic. But one thing it is, my mom is a lot like Kimmy. And the fact of the matter is that you don't raise your children to depend on anyone. You should not raise your boys to think that there are men's chores and there are women's chores. It's just not effective. It's not good for the kids. Now that this situation is going on with Kimmy, she has all this extra responsibility that she should not have. In the household I was raised in, my dad cooked, my dad worked. My mom cooked. My mom worked. We did chores. We did work. We did housework. I worked. My dad was a diesel mechanic. I used to fix cars with him, so I know a lot about cars. It's just not sustainable for those kids, and it's not a good environment. And these men get on my nerves real bad, real bad. Because you don't have to. You can be an alpha male and still not have to be domineering over your women. And I don't like that dynamic in any of these relationships with Marceau, with Maurice. And I can give it to Melody. She did not, at least on camera, let herself be run over in a sense. But before the camera, she obviously did. She put up with a lot of things until Martell got caught. So the dynamics of these people is crazy. And I do hope that, and I pray for Kimmy, and I really do hope that in some way, maybe in a way we may not see, she is still supported, even if it's not by Maurice.
Well, and that's that on that. That's that on that. Thank you so much, Leo Aries. Lola K says, I feel better excuse me, I feel better. For better or worse, in sickness and in health, is the vows that Maurice took when he married Kimmy. Point blank and the
That
period.
part.
And we seen that personally on TV because they got
That
married
part.
on Love and Marriage Huntsville that first season. So I need you to hold up to your vows, sir. I need you to hold up to your vows, okay?
That part real
Nubian
there.
says,
That
but
part.
I'm sure the mother didn't have a full-time job. Let's see, Sheila Mack. This is the way a lot of Southern men think, and that is very true. Shan says, very well said, Leo. That part. In my opinion, were you ready, or did you need me to come back to you in the next scene, sweetheart?
The problem they having is Maurice don't feel like he need to do nothing.
Mm,
So how can you tell your son to do something if you don't feel like you have to do anything?
mm,
And that's where it's wrong.
Mm,
But
yep.
they learned that from their parents. If you notice, they both think alike. Marceau and Maurice think that the women supposed to do everything, and all they supposed to do is just bring home the money. And that's a backwards way of thinking, because ain't nobody gonna stay with you like that. For better or for worse, in sickness and in health, it don't tell me to let you run me down to the ground. Okay.
and
That
there you
part.
go.
I agree with that. I agree with
I
that.
agree with it
Yeah.
too. Good night, Radiance.
In
Thank you
my
so much for
opinion,
coming through. I appreciate it. Y'all, I accidentally missed a scene.
Yes, baby.
So Tisha
oh,
and
okay. In my opinion, this is Leo. I just pray for you, honey. I can hear. I can hear. So I just I'm sending you healing energy. Okay, baby.
yes,
Thank you so much.
yes,
It's
we
We're
are
been
praying for.
all
it's
keeping
been
We're
a
all
Too.
rough
praying
day
for
Me
today.
you.
too.
thank you, Leo. We are all keeping, in my opinion, lifted up in prayers over here in Royaires world. Also, Diva sent her prayers to you as well when I spoke with her today, in my opinion. So know that we are all praying for you and we're all praying for a speedy recovery, that all goes well. So we love you and thank you again so much for coming up tonight. You know, I truly appreciate it. I really, really do. Um, where was I at? Tisha and Kiki. So Tisha and Kiki seem to be back on good footing. They seem like that they're trying to get their relationship back in a place, in a better place, as they said, not where it used to be, but in a better place. And so they're riding in the car. They are on their way to the A&M University to watch a basketball game. And so in the car, you know, they are discussing, you know, Tiffany, you know, and what happened at the Martell's magazine party, you know, with her and Tiffany, and you know, the text messages being released and all of that stuff. So that really wasn't a big important scene to me. If there's any comments on that that everybody would like to say, I'll go around.
No,
I'll
there's
start at the
not.
top.
Mm-mm.
Shan, did you have any comments on that scene?
Me and let me say it properly. Emmanuel and I are about to fight, but I've never, ever in my life cared about a scene less. Ever. No comment.
No comment either. Not for me. No comment. No.
No comment for you, Dustin. Okay,
No comment.
Emmanuel.
Yes, I want to comment on this scene. Okay, so first of all, I love Kimmy.
Why?
Kimmy, I don't know. No, I'm sorry,
Okay, are
not
you talking
Kimmy,
about
not Kimmy.
Kiki or Kimmy? Hold on,
Kiki,
we
I'm
talking about
sorry.
Kiki or
I'm talking
Kimmy?
about Kiki. I
Oh,
love
okay.
Tell us
Kiki.
2 good reasons.
She looks like she's a fun time and she's funny. So
Okay.
and you know, we've kind of seen her and Tisha kind of not being on good terms. So I like seeing them together, and it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of funny seeing them kind of team up against Tiffany, because you noticed they said, I think it was Tisha said, that the rumor around town is that Tiffany's been having an affair with Bleep. They bleeped out the name, of course. So I think that's going to probably be something they'll probably come
Allegedly.
back. Yeah, I think that's going to come back in this season, because if Tisha said it on camera, I'm sure it's going to come back up. So yeah, Tiffany, yeah, she's going to have a hard time going up against these two.
Okay. I know Dustin said you were good on this. In my opinion, did you have any thoughts on this?
Yeah, I feel like Kiki is just in for the ride. She's so happy to be on TV. She don't know what to do. So she'll be with anybody.
That
As long as
part.
she can be on the screen.
That part.
Is she
I
married?
totally agree. I
Yeah,
totally
she is
agree.
married, but let me tell you something. It ain't what y'all think it is. You
Mm.
probably won't see her husband on here because he got a record too.
Mm.
I
Oh
love.
Lord.
Listen, Emmanuel, how don't you know that your favorite is married or not?
No, I didn't say she was my favorite. I said I liked her.
Shit, you so petty. So we're gonna move into this last scene, y'all, and then we're gonna wrap this up, okay? So in the last scene, Martell and Marceau and Tiffany are supposed to be having a meeting. Well, that meeting went completely left because Martell came with a totally different agenda. He came with the agenda to check Tiffany because she had the audacity to be trying to question and check Sheree. So, they come in, and so Tiffany walks in, and so Maurice is giving compliments and saying she's so beautiful. You don't look pregnant. You look so good in black. Da 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 da. Now, from uh, off the scene, I personally felt that Maurice or Marceau knew what was going on. He tried to play like he didn't know what was going on, but I know for sure that Martell shared with him everything that Sheree went back and told him when they was at the house. So I love the fact that he tried to play it off, but you didn't play it off too well, in my thoughts and opinions. Okay. So, and I also feel like that they should have bet with Big Lou. I thought it was very inappropriate for two men to be attacking a pregnant woman. Just completely inappropriate. If y'all had an issue, y'all should have went to Big Lou so that Big Lou could have had a conversation with Tiffany. Now, whether or not that conversation happened, that's between them. But I just thought it was very inappropriate for two men to be attacking, because that's how it came off to me, attacking a pregnant woman. So, they come to the meeting, and so Tiffany is thinking we're coming to talk business. Well, Martell is coming to talk and question on why she felt the need to be questioning Sheree about his and Martell and Sheree's relationship. Why she felt the need to question, how she feels about dating a cheater, and does she feel like that he's gonna get back with Mel and leave her? It was just a complete hot mess, and Martell was very upset. And in my feelings, he had a right to be upset because Tiffany was completely out of line to be asking the questions that she asked. So, as they get further into the conversation, Marceau, which is why I know he knows, he gets all dramatic and gets shocked. Oh my God, I can't believe you asked this kind of stuff. What? I can't believe a human being even thinks like this. You are the last person to be trying to talk about somebody thinking any kind of way, the way you've been treating your wife the past 6 seasons on the Love and Marriage Huntsville screen on national TV. So, sir, have several seats, sit it on down, and be quiet, okay? Now, also, I thought it was just, what's the word I want to use? It was very appalling to me that Tiffany was kind of backtracking what she was saying. And, she lost memory of the things that she said. Honey, if you was bold enough to say them to Sheree, be bold enough to say them to her man. These are the questions I asked. This is what I thought. And I like how she kind of wrapped it up in a nice present and bow, and to say that, well, what I got from the conversation is that you have a very strong woman and she's securing what you guys got going on, and da 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 da. That don't matter. It was completely inappropriate for you to bring up the conversation to her. It was completely inappropriate to be asking the questions that you asked. And you cannot be mad that Martell is upset and trying to come and talk to you about him not feeling, very positive about the conversations that you had with Sheree. We see at the end of that scene, Martell got upset. He slammed his books on the table and packed them up and left. I thought it was very extra and a little too much, but he was upset. He was mad. And so he said he's going to finish this conversation with Big Lou, which is where this conversation should have started off in the first place. And that's going to take us in the next week. So I'm going to go around and get everybody's opinions on this scene. Dustin, what were your thoughts and opinions on this last scene?
I just want to say that I agree with everything that you said. I feel like it should have went a different route than what it did, and that's all I'm gonna say. Is I agree with you, and I love your channel as always, and I'll always be here for you.
Thank you so much, Dustin. I greatly appreciate your love and support. And you know you are more than welcome over here in Royaires World anytime. You just hit that link and come on in the building, all right?
Alrighty.
Thank you so much. In my opinion, your thoughts and opinions, in my opinion.
Okay. My opinion gonna be a little different from yours, Royal,
Okay.
because I don't think, I really don't think it wasn't a fact that they didn't want to talk to Lou first. I think the meeting was already scheduled.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? And I
Yeah.
feel like he was like, "Well, I already got you here, so I guess I can go ahead and ask you." I didn't feel like he, like yelled at her, got out of pocket. We all know Martell can be a stunt queen, okay? So the fact
That's
that he
perfect.
didn't,
Yes.
yes, the fact that he didn't get out of pocket like he normally do, I was glad about that because had he been aggressive with that lady, it would have took me to a whole nother place.
Mm-hmm.
But I felt like she asked so many personal questions. She had no business asking. She was all up in their business so much that does he have a right to, ask her why she felt the need to ask all these questions? Yes, he has the right. Do he have the right to holler at her? No, he doesn't. Yes, she does have a husband, and they should have brought it to him first. But I just think the meeting was already scheduled before they had a chance to talk to Big Lou. So.
I can totally see that perspective, in my opinion. So thank you for bringing that up because I did not think about it like that. I mean, since we are here, we might as well have the conversation. And you are correct. He did not get loud. He didn't get rambunctious. He didn't do what he normally does with Mel. So I will definitely lay off of Martell on that and give him kudos for having a grown, mature conversation with Tiffany and not getting upset and doing the most. So thank you so much, in my opinion. And see, that's why I love this, y'all, because it gives everybody a different perspective to be able to look at things differently. Emmanuel, your thoughts and opinions on this last scene?
Okay, so I also really disagree with that because, okay, first of all, Tiffany is supposed to be Martell's friend, right? How dare you question my? I know they're not really dating, but let's just pretend they are, okay? How dare you go to my girlfriend and be asking all these inappropriate questions? Out of line, and I don't think that her husband should have been there because the husband wasn't the one that said it. It was Tiffany. So he's coming at Tiffany and asking her. If I would have had a problem had Martell maybe called her out her name, called her a B or something, then that would have been an issue for me. But what he did, I don't think there was really anything wrong with it. I think he was just asking like, why would you do that? Because she was out of line. I think we can all agree on that. And yeah, but next week is gonna get messy with the husband, so we'll see what happens there.
We will see what happens there. Shan, your thoughts and opinions on this final scene?
Listen, this is a perfect example of right message, wrong messenger. I feel like Marceau told Tiffany what needed to be said. Like, girl, mind your business. Why you acting like this? You're behaving inappropriate. I was with him with everything he said, but he's not the person to say it. Like, please. I agree with Emmanuel about I don't think it's inappropriate for him to talk to her directly. She is the one who said it. I wish he didn't have Marceau there as like a backup because why are you bringing
And that was my
Marceau
issue,
there?
having Marceau there. Two
Yeah,
men
like they
together
could
with
have
a
had
pregnant woman. I didn't like that.
yeah, they could have had a one-on-one because I feel like Marceau was doing what he usually does, egg on the situation, make it extra. I feel like Marceau was actually calm about it. If Marceau wasn't there, I wouldn't see anything wrong with it. Because like I have guy friends, like I wouldn't mind going to dinner and being like, okay, this is what offended me. Like that's okay to talk to your opposite sex friend and say this is what like your boyfriend, your husband don't have to be there, I don't think. Unless you're, getting aggressive or inappropriate. But yeah, my only issue was that Marceau was there. Why was he there? Why did Martell do that? I feel like Martell wanted somebody to get crazy with Tiffany, but he didn't want to do it himself because he already has a reputation of acting a fool and being, intense.
Mm-hmm.
Tiffany. I think she should take heed to what Marceau said. Like I said earlier, I don't know why she's acting like this. Or he could have invited her husband, like, But I don't know. I don't think Big Lou needed to be there. Marceau should have not been there. But definitely, like I said before, right message, wrong messenger. And yeah, how dare you? Unless you're my sibling and you're trying to question the person, even those questions are inappropriate, period. But I understand how your sibling is looking out for you and they're trying to get to know, your future girlfriend or whatever they are, right? So they're like, asking them questions, getting to know them. Even as a sibling, that would be inappropriate questions. But my thing is, Tiffany, why are you so invested in Mel and Martell and Sheree's business? The problem is these people have no business of their own. And I'm wondering if when you go on a reality show, you have to give like a play-by-play of like, okay, this is what I'm going to talk about. You should have to. Because now Tiffany's trying to make a storyline because as usual, her storyline is yawn. We don't care. So she's grasping for every little thing. And that's what making the show sucks. Because only Kimmy has an authentic story and actually living her true life. So yeah, Tiffany deserved to be called out, but I just wish somebody else would have done it because maybe she would have taken them seriously. And yes, like you said, the backtracking had me dead. Like, oh yeah, she's a strong woman who can. But I was living when Marceau was like, pregnancy protect you from getting slapped or whatever. I know that's really messed up. But it's
Can I say something right quick?
Somebody had to tell her.
Yes, Dustin, we're going around for our final thoughts and opinions. So, Dustin, what are your final thoughts and opinions on today's episode?
I just wanted to ask you how many more episodes do we have before the season ends?
Well, we're only on episode 8. There's normally, I want to say 15 episodes, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, around there.
Something like that. So I'm sure we're kind of getting towards the smack dab middle of the season and preparing for, the ending of the season. So any final thoughts and opinions, Dustin, on this episode and going into next week?
Next week's going to get crazy. I think it's going to get even more crazier than that this week. This week was already crazy enough, but this is going to get crazier as the season goes on. We'll have to wait and see what next week brings. I'm excited, but I hope this is the final season because I'm getting tired of the same thing over and over again. I want some change. If they bring another season, If they bring another season, well, I don't think they're gonna do it. But if they do, I want some changes next season.
I totally agree with you, Dustin. I want some changes too, or cancel the whole show altogether, and let's move on to DC and Detroit.
That part.
Well, thank you so much, Dustin, for your final thoughts and opinions. I truly appreciate you coming up tonight and joining me. And I will see you next week, hopefully on Diva's channel when we're back over there reviewing our show. So thank you.
I hope so. Yeah. You're welcome.
Yes.
Love you, Royaires. I love you, channel.
Love you too, Dustin. Thank you so much.
And tell
in my opinion. Oh, yes. In my opinion, your final thoughts on this week's episode and what's going down next week?
I think it's really strange that Big Lou got so much heat coming into this week.
He got the energy.
I want to see how Tiffany rephrased it to make him have this much heat. Cause Big Lou, he act like somebody, snatched her up, pushed the baby out of her. Rolled up in a Fruit Loop or something. Sold it down the river. Oh no, just sold online or something. I mean, he acting like they dang near killed his wife. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, bro, if your wife can open her mouth and get in everybody else's business, then she can take it. Just stay out of people's business and nobody have no reason to come to your wife and ask questions.
That part.
I totally agree with you 100%. Stay in your lane, stay out of mine, and we won't have to have no car collision. Emmanuel, your final thoughts and opinions on this week's episode and what's coming up next week?
I agree with everything Opinion said. Yeah, the show's pretty boring. I watch it just because I've been watching it, so I'm like, I just want to see what happens, but there's really nothing exciting,
Emmanuel, did you just say you agree with everything I said?
Yeah, isn't that
What
crazy?
about you?
For the first
Hell
time.
has frozen over.
Boy, no wonder I'm over here in pain. You agreeing with me, Lord Jesus.
But
Oh,
yeah.
it's gonna snow tomorrow if everybody agrees. It's gonna snow tomorrow if everybody agrees.
Mhm.
Anything else, Emmanuel?
That's it.
Alrighty, well, thank you so much as well for joining me tonight. I truly appreciate your love and support, bro. You know you the Brody for life. Cousin Shan, your final thoughts and thoughts and opinions on this episode and what's going to happen next week.
My final thoughts are Tiffany, Kiki, Stormy, Maurice, more so. Everyone needs to be off the show because I'm sick of them. I can
Everybody,
keep Mel and I can keep Kimmy.
the show needs to be canceled all completely.
And my other final thoughts are everybody like and subscribe to Royaire World. My other final thoughts are thank you for having me. And I'm not sure what's going on, but I see everybody sending love and prayers to In My Opinion. I want to send love and prayers to In My Opinion as well. I love your opinion and I'm happy to hear your voice and everything. So sending love, hugs, and prayers.
Praying for you, in my opinion, praying for you. We're all praying for you on this panel. And I'm praying for Royaires as well to get better.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you guys so much. Bia says Tiffany had a little smirk when she was talking to Big Lou in the preview. I seen that too, Bia. Sheila Mack wedding this month though. Okay, shout out to the future newlyweds. Good evening, Royaire and beautiful souls. Good evening, Miss Wilson. I like the Whitlows. All right. Well, I want to
One person does.
I want to thank each and every one of you. Thank you to In My Opinion. Thank you to Leo Aries. Thank you, Dustin. Thank you, Emmanuel. And thank you, Shan, for taking the time out of your evening to join me on tonight. Please remember, everyone, that we will be back next week on Chronicles of the Gray Haired Divas channel, reviewing Housewives of Atlanta, Love and Marriage Huntsville. We will have trending topics, and we're going to try to get this last episode. I know we're super, super late, but because of me and my hospital stay, we're going to get this last episode of Tupac Shakur and Afeni's documentary out, and that'll be the last one, okay? So y'all remember to join us next week over on Chronicles of the Gray Hair Diva. Please stay tuned to my channel. If you are not a subscriber, check out my channel. If you like what you see going on over here, hit that subscribe button and make sure you hit that notification bell on all. That way you see each and every time I post a video with you in mind. Hit the like button on this video. Share. Let your friends and family know that Royaire is here in the building and we doing the darn thing around here, okay? Watch my Royaire's Corners. Watch my morning walks, talks, and laughs with Royaire. I enjoy entertaining you all just as much as you all entertain me. So thank you so much for the love and support. I believe that is all I have to say for the evening. So if that is it from everybody else, I love you guys, and I will catch you next time in Royaire's World. Have a good night, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. This
Royaires World.